Good morning, Microsoft Build. That's some amazing energy you've brought here today. Thank you for being with us here today, and welcome to the Build breakout session on expanding your reach with Windows. Before we begin, there's a QR code on the far right corner of the screen where you can scan that and you can ask questions, and we'll have experts who will be able to answer your questions live. At the end of the session as well, all the speakers will hang out outside the room if you'd like to talk to us one-on-one, and we can answer more of your questions then. So you all work hard to make best-in-class experiences for your users. And we want to help you take that and reach even more users and retain your existing ones. So today, we are excited to present to you our next investments in the Microsoft Store and in Windows widgets to help you reach even more customers. Here's the agenda for this morning. We're going to talk about Windows widgets, so what they are, how they're evolving, and how you can use them to reach even more users. Next, we'll have Beth show you how you can use your existing web investments to build progressive web apps and experiences that users would love. And finally, Beth would be joined by Jessica and Nita to share the latest updates in the Microsoft Store and how you can leverage these to increase your reach. So let's get started. Think about your workday. You all perform a variety of tasks, which require a lot of context switching between apps. You might be coding in Visual Studio, and then you might want to play some music, and in the meantime, you might want to check if your build succeeded or not. And all of these things take you away from the flow of your work, because you have to open yet another app, yet another service. And so Windows users like you told us that you wanted a way to have all the top functionality and content from your favorite apps and services at your fingertips. And so we introduced the Widgets board. Windows widgets are a flagship Windows 11 feature that are meant to help you stay on top of what matters the most to you. You can easily invoke this by pressing Windows W, or also by clicking on the weather icon in the taskbar. It provides glanceable and actionable content. It can be personalized for each user. And earlier this year, we announced general availability of the widgets platform, so anyone can build a widget. We've already had companies like Spotify and Meta build widgets for this experience, and you can build one too. I'll talk a bit about how the widgets board has been evolving. We've been hearing your feedback on what you've liked and what you would have liked to see. And so here's some new announcements for you on the widgets board. So first, we have a new, larger widgets board with widgets and news separated out to have like dedicated sections for each. Next, we have a first run experience, which helps users understand how to customize their widget board to make it suit their needs. And finally, we have the ability, later this year, we're going to have the ability for users to fine-tune their widgets board to show only widgets. Users will have the choice to show only widgets, only news, or a mix of the two. And why would you care? Like, what would you do with widgets, and how does it help you reach more users? So as a developer, widgets lets you reach more customers with prime real estate on Windows. Millions of users use the widgets board as part of their daily habit today. So there's a huge customer base using this. But that's not enough. You also want to make sure that your widgets are discovered by users. And so we've introduced some new features to help users discover your widgets. So when a widget is installed, we've added some alerts on the taskbar to tell the user that there's a widget available for your app. So when your app is installed, notice the taskbar icon change to say, hey, there's a new widget for your app. And when a user clicks on it, it opens the widgets board with a banner on top to say, hey, there's new widgets available for this experience. Would you like to pin them? And when they click on that, it opens the widgets picker. This is a very new widgets picker that we've launched. It's designed to showcase your widget so that users can pin this and make it part of their daily habit of using your apps and your services. And the best part is you can deep link to this widgets picker page from your app or your website to send users straight here to this page. And there's also a dedicated page in the Microsoft Store for widgets. So users can discover widgets here, and it's also accessible through the widgets picker. You can build a widget today by going to aka.ms/widgetdevdocs. It is super easy to build a widget and also to package and deploy it, because it's packaged and deployed with your store app, and it's published the exact same way. So think about what functionality your users might want at their fingertips. Or if you're building a widget for yourself, think about all the things that you would like quick access to. Like, what are all the things for which you have to go to a website or an app and spin open the thing and spend all that time doing it? What would you like at your fingertips? Think about that and build a widget for that. So I would like to call upon Beth to talk about progressive web apps and how you can leverage them to create experiences that users will love. Please put your hands together for Beth.
Thank you, Rahul. I feel like a celebrity here. They actually did my makeup and hair. I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but thank you guys still to be here on the last day right before, whatever Megapine that you have waiting for you at home or something. I don't know. Anyways, my name is Beth. I'm a software engineer, according to my colleagues at their natural habitat. I work for APS, which stands for Apps, Partners, and the Store. And we own a lot of these experiments and experiences as part of the store. But today, I'm going to talk to you about progressive web apps. So a lot of you may already have an experience that's native, which is great. That makes your app feel just like it's at home on Windows. But some of you may also have experiences on the web, because the web is cool and there's a lot of new things that's coming up every day. But what if you can combine the both? The home sweet home experiences on Windows and the new super cool things from the web. So today, I'm going to show you how to supercharge your existing web investments and reach more users on Windows. You're all so supportive. So let's talk about what's progressive web apps. So we just said that progressive web apps combines the best of the both worlds, right? But what sets it apart from a traditional web app is it's using web technologies. But you can also install these apps on your devices across platforms from a single code base. And the best part about the native is before progressive web apps, there aren't a lot of options for you to reach to the native platform from the web platform. Now you can. You can do things like notifications, background sync, stuff like that. So you might ask, what if I wanted to start a new progressive web app? And well, our team have just the tools for you. Let me switch to my computer over here. There you go. So here on my laptop, I'm in the folder directory that I wanted to be in called Build 2023 under my development folder. One of the first ways that you can install some quick tooling onto your computer in order to start building PWAs is you can just do npm install globally at pwbuilder/CLI. This is a brand new preview CLI tool that you can try out today. If you have any feedback, please let us know. You can tweet at pwbuilder's public Twitter, or you can tweet at MSDev, Windows Dev, what have you. So to save time, I'm actually not going to install this real time. I already installed this on my machine. So all I got to do is simply type pwa create, and then add a app name that you prefer. Let's call it build demo, build day demo. And behind the scenes, this command is going to go to GitHub. And then it's downloading or cloning a GitHub repo called PWA Starter, which is a boilerplate template that we have all the necessary moving parts for a web project for you. It includes all of the preferred front-end stack from the PWA Builder team so that you don't have to worry about choosing from all these thousands of JavaScript libraries. It also handles bundling and deploying as part of the project, which we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. And from here, all you need to do is type P2A start in order to start the dev server. But I'm actually going to show, before we do that, I'm actually going to show you another way to start a new project before we start the dev server. So let me change into my VS Code extension. OK, so here is your VS Code IDE, right? We actually built an extension right here. If you haven't installed it or haven't tried it out, you can just simply go to the extension store, this little icon, and search for P2A Builder Studio, which is this cute little otter, which is short. His name is Manny, short for Web Manifest. Thanks. I needed that. So if you click on this cute otter, there's a couple of options that you can do to get started. First of all, you can click this button at the bottom left to start a new P2A, or you can click Control-Shift-P to pop open the command palette from Visual Studio Code and simply type in new P2A. And then follow the prompt. It'll ask you to give a repository a name, which directory that you want to go to, and then install all the dependencies behind the scenes for you right away. So like I said, to save time, since we're already doing the CLI version and they're pulling down all the same moving parts all together, I'm only going to do it once. And you can either do a P2A start, or you can do whatever that you're comfortable with, npm npx start. So let's start the dev server and see what this template actually offers us. I think I have internet. Yeah. Let's do, oh, duh. I got to go into my builder first, my folder first, right? npm start. Great. So behind the scenes, it's now popping up the dev server. You can see that we're using Vite to bundle. And it's opening up in a new port and showing up nicely in a dark mode browser, like we all like to see. And then here are some UI components that's already added to the screen for you. And then if you fancy to look at the technologies behind the scenes, you can go click on these links to read their documentations. We've already set up navigation for you, router behind the scenes, so you can go back and forth to different pages. And we even showcased this new shared target as part of Windows. When you click this button, it actually pops open the native Windows shared target functionality that looks more native to it, right? Cool. So within a minute or so, we've started a project 2 different ways using 2 different tools, whatever you prefer, either it's a CLI or a UI through the Visual Studio Code extension. And then we're here. There's really nothing that I did to write a single line of code to be here. But if you look at the structure of the project that it's created, you can see basically there's 2 folders that's very important, right? There's a public folder, which everything gets served directly to the browser. And then there's a source folder, which contains all of your essential source files. This is where you're going to create your own components, piecing them together into pieces, into pages, and then add CSS styles to make your website your own brand. OK, so that's how to get started. What if you already have a website? Right, so imagine that I have a website that I only needed to add the 3 pillars to it. One is to deploy it to the security endpoint. One is to add the web manifest. The other one is to start a service worker. So you can still use this cute little otter extension to click on I want to generate a web manifest, or I want to generate a service worker. And these are going to create the default files with all the required fields, and also a simple caching strategy in your service worker. All right, let's move on. So I have here, you heard from Rahul that we have this cool thing called widgets. And how do we add widgets to your P2As? The good thing about using the starter is the code is already included in there. Simply open up your public folder, and there's all the assets in the widget folder. And we also add in all the boilerplate code already for you in your manifest file and your service worker file. So on the left side here, here's all the required fields that we need in a widget member as part of the widget. And you can see that we're using the widget template here in ac.json and simple data binding in data.json. These are available today through Adaptive Card Designers, and you can copy the payload from the Adaptive Card Designer directly into your code. And in the service worker right here on the right side, you can also see event listeners, default event listeners that widgets kind of needs, such as the install, resume, click, uninstall. These are all the default ones, right? So let's moment of truth. Let's see. I think I already opened this port. Let's see if it works. I had it hosted in localhost 5174. Okay, so whenever you're building a PWA, if you want to know if it works as an installable app, here's this little icon in the browser, so I can click it. It says app available. And it's going to prompt me to install this app on my machine. And then it's going to ask me all the necessary questions to be like, do you want these native capabilities turned on right away, right? Pin to taskbar, pin to start. These are not things that you can do with web apps before. I'm going to go ahead and allow it. And because widgets are already built in with this sample, I can now pop open the widget board using Windows W. And you can see right here it says new widget available for starter widget. We're going to add it right now. And it's thinking. Maybe it works. Rahul is on the widget team. If you need help resolving bugs, but we promote a growth mindset, right? So I'm definitely happy to take your feedback in after this session. Let's see, pop it open again if it works. I think it edited it.
Click the plus icon.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Starter widget right here. Let's edit to the board. It says widget pinned. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Yay, look at it. It's right here. How beautiful. Thank you so much. To prove it works, I'm going to type in build 2023. I'm really nervous right now about this function. No, it definitely works. So let's see. Ta-da! OK, great. Thank you. I love it. Really, really do. I'm going to go back to my Visual Studio Code. And let's take a look at the script that comes with it that certain things that's really handy for you. So there are two little scripts behind the scenes that we built in with PWA Starter. One is called build, which is going to create the distributable folder for you behind the scenes using all these bundling JavaScript libraries. The other one is called deploy. If you already have a Azure account, it's going to go to the static web app CLI behind the scenes, and then we already have scripts pre-configured. All you need to do is run these two commands through the starter, and then everything will be done for you. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time. So again, I already deployed this. You're going to have to believe me that I did this real-ish time. Here is the URL in the preview slot that I have. I'm just going to copy it. And the next thing that we're going to do is, what if you have a website and you think it's a PWA, but you want to know if there's something wrong with it? Is there anything that you can do to make it better? So we're going to introduce you to the one-stop shop of pwabuilder.com, still owned by Manny. He's a very rich man. Right here, we're going to paste the URL that I just copied from the other browser tab. Click Start. And you can see that we're showing you, this is a brand new UI that's going to show you a scorecard of your progressive web app. Scroll down following the options to fix any of the warnings or errors. You have the option to edit your manifest. If you don't have a manifest already, you can create one directly from here and download it. You can also generate a service worker or see the health of your service worker of certain functionalities behind the scenes. There's also a cool little thing in the manifest that we recently enabled under platform. If you fancy to add a Edge side panel size, then your app would be supported right here on this cool little UI called Edge Sidebar in order to reach your users through a different platform. OK, the one last step that we're going to show you is how to package for the Windows Store on Microsoft Store on Windows. Today, pwabuilder.com is the only place you can go to package your PWAs for the Windows platform. We have other experimental platforms, and we want to enable our developers and meet you guys where you are to do whatever you want to do. But here, let me show you during generation of the Windows package. All you need to do is go to your Partner Center and grab these strings, which most of them are confidential, so I don't actually have them pasted here. Go to All Settings, do whatever you need to do to configure your metadata of the app. And then at the bottom, if the widgets is already enabled in your manifest, then this box would be automatically checked in order to help you have widget deployed behind the scenes. Cool. So that's all my demos on this machine. I'm going to go back. So today, we already have a lot of PWAs in the Microsoft Store that's from well-known brands. And I hope you guys can spend some time and think about how we can help you through building web apps and deploying them as progressive web apps into the store. So next, I'm going to welcome Jessica to talk about store momentum.
Thank you, Beth. I have to say, it never fails to impress me when somebody can code and demo while talking, because I cannot. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Jessica Sachs, and I'm a Senior Program Manager with the Apps, Partnerships, and Store team within the Windows organization. You are all here, I hope, to learn about why you should bring your app to the Microsoft Store, and I am here to give you the information you need to inform that decision. To start, the Microsoft Store showcases a huge variety of apps and games. It is a place where customers are frequently finding the app experiences they most care about, and they trust it as a source of high-quality app experiences. That's why we have seen phenomenal growth in Windows consumer traffic to the Microsoft Store. In fact, across Windows 10 and 11 combined, we have seen close to 1 billion unique customers coming to the Microsoft Store in the past 12 months. Exactly. That makes the Microsoft Store a great place for you to get your app in front of more Windows customers. Now, we know that you need a frictionless way to get your app in front of those customers. That is why, through our open store policy, you can bring any app type to the store, regardless of platform or framework, including PWA, which would make Beth absolutely ecstatic, so I highly recommend it. We also know that for most, if not all developers, creating that app is not just something you do out of the goodness of your hearts or for fun or as a hobby. It's your business, and that business needs to thrive. That's why we allow you to choose how you do commerce on Windows. You can choose to use our own e-commerce solution, specially designed for apps that are brought to the Microsoft Store, and keep 85% of the revenue. Or you can choose to use your own e-commerce solution and keep 100% of the revenue. The Microsoft Store client also does not need to be the only way customers acquire your app. We know that many developers utilize your own website as an important distribution channel, and the Microsoft Store can complement that distribution channel through a UX flow that we call the pop-up store. The pop-up store allows you to use the store infrastructure, but keep the customer on your own website. A great example of an app that does this today is WhatsApp. In fact, not only does WhatsApp utilize the pop-up store, they exclusively distribute their Windows app via the Microsoft Store. So with being platform agnostic, offering an industry-leading revenue share, and flexible distribution channels, we have seen a huge increase in the number of apps coming to the Microsoft Store, including this small sample of apps here that have launched in the store in the past 12 months. And there are many more great apps on the way, including those you see here, which are teed up to launch in the Microsoft Store in the next 2 to 3 months. Now, because we have seen such an increase in apps coming to the store, customers are increasingly looking to us and each other to identify those must-have app experiences. So I'm delighted to tell you that earlier this week, we announced the winners of the 2023 Microsoft Store App Awards. Please join me in giving these winners a round of applause. Listen, the reality is I obviously believe in the store. And I could stand up here all day telling you why I think bringing your app to the Microsoft Store would be a good business decision. However, before I invite my teammate Nita to come up, I thought it would be far more valuable for you to hear from some of your fellow developers and publishers about their experience in the Microsoft Store. Let's play the video.
When we brought our apps to the Microsoft Store, we saw thousands of installs in a week, despite the fact that our apps have existed on our website available for download for years.
Windows is where a large portion of our users are, and we saw an immediate uptick from users when we released to the Microsoft App Store. We saw it become a trending app in the store. Windows is a dominant desktop platform, and we see a good portion of our users there. Native integration with Windows via the App Store gives users an option for a better experience integrated with the normal Windows app switching flows. We see users staying engaged with Snapchat no matter what surface they're on, their PC or their phone.
Microsoft Store gave us a new opportunity to reach customers to a new channel, have new placements where we weren't already in. It helped us promote our app and increase our user engagement.
It was amazing to see the high engagement the Microsoft players have. It's nothing like the other stores. These guys consume the game on a bigger screen, and they highly appreciate premium content.
We value the possibility of submitting the app as is in our own format with its own existing billing system, which for us makes the whole process of launching the app in the new store very fast and smooth. By making our app available on the Microsoft Store, we can tap into a large and diverse audience of Windows users, and we can take advantage of the store's marketing and promotional tools to increase our app's visibility and attract new users.
Capture One is an ecosystem of creative and collaborative tools for photographers. Participating in the Microsoft Store helps us reach new photographers who may just be getting started. In parallel, we highly value Microsoft's partnership and commitment to work with us so that we can innovate together and develop more powerful experiences for creators.
What I value about Microsoft Store the most is the team's support to bring developers on board. They have a very friendly approach to help developers, and the system is super flexible for us to run a lot of different type of beta tests. I think it's very powerful if you're launching a new app or you want to test the app for different user segments.
微软商店其实这是个全球的应用市场，我们希望也让更多的用户发现和了解全新的 QQ。同时，我们也希望通过微软商店，与微软进行更加深入的合作和交流，共同推进桌面应用的发展和创新。
I think there's something really special about the discoverability that Microsoft Store brings. People know that what they see there is trustworthy. They can also discover things that are new, that they might not have known existed. And Mastodon, for all that it's taking off, I think still has some opportunity to be discovered by people.
We see the Microsoft Store as an important new discovery and distribution channel for our app. It's a great channel for us to connect with business users and enterprise clients worldwide. What's more, management of the app in the Microsoft Partner Dashboard makes it easy and simple to keep our app and listing up to date.
Thank you all so much for your time, and please welcome my teammate Nita.
Thanks, Jessica. That was awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Nita Hammond, and I'm excited to be here at Build with you in person this year. I'm a senior product manager at Microsoft, leading the development of Microsoft Store Ads. Today, I'll share with you exciting store consumer updates. Our upcoming store investments are features that will help the discovery of your app and reduce the friction to acquire them. In March, we released Microsoft Store Ads GA in the US market. Its goal was to help grow your business by getting your apps or games in front of the right customers at the right time. We received some great feedback as well as success stories from ISVs. Let's hear what they have to say.
Store ads are the #1 way for us today to get direct response in the store, whether it's acquiring new players, top of mind, re-engagement, being able to advertise where the intent is with a seamless flow makes store ads one of the best performing UI platforms.
微软应用商店的广告操作非常的简单省时，而且效果特别出色，完全超出了我们的预期啊！商店广告的平均安装成本只有搜索广告的1/10，而且转化率呢还要比搜索广告整整高出了6倍。2023年1月份，在微软商店广告的帮助下，我们游戏的安装量环比增长25%，同时呢，平均的安装成本环比下降了31%。2月份至今，商店广告依然保持着很低的这样的一个平均安装成本，比其他的广告渠道要低60%。
At first, the campaign was scheduled for a month-long test in February. We have chosen to maintain it because our performances were promising. The next step for us would be the ability to have post-install tracking. And we are thrilled to learn that there are a number of changes planned on the Microsoft Store Ads roadmap that will introduce further improvements and increase access to data and performance.
I love that thanks to you can clap. Thank you very much. I love that thanks to Microsoft Store Ads, Miracle Games was able to see a 25% increase in app installs. To help more, yes. And to help more developers get that same opportunity, next month we're launching to 150 plus markets and regions. We're also adding 3 new Microsoft Store Ad placements. 1, Premium Search. We have recently launched Premium Search Ad. It is a prominent, large placement that is visually appealing to end users. 2, Bing generates 689 million unique search results. When you advertise through the Microsoft Store, you will soon also appear on the Bing search results page. And 3, coming soon, we are also giving you the option to display rich advertising in the Spotlight section of the Microsoft Store. It is a new, large, and high traffic surface, and it will also support video ad formats. If you're interested in being a part of the pilot for Spotlight ads, please let us know by submitting a request at aka.ms/store Spotlight ads. Again, that is aka.ms/store Spotlight ads. To help you track, optimize your campaigns, and to give you a greater understanding of what is returning the best value for you, we provide you with great analytics data. And getting started with Microsoft Store Ads, that's if you're not using it today, is easy. It is a simple one-click process, and you can do this at aka.ms/store ads. Today, we have a special offer just for you. Get $100 off, yes, $100 off your Store Ads campaign when you spend $50. You can scan the QR code to redeem, or you can visit the link below at microsoftadvertising.com/build2023. A lot of ads. As we now begin the next chapter for the Microsoft Store on Windows, to expand your ability to reach more customers, we embark on leveraging AI. We are introducing a new feature called AI-powered reviews. It summarizes thousands of reviews into a few sentences, making it for your fans to influence and inspire your future customers. One of the biggest store changes you'll see soon is a new section called the AI Hub. This new feature is a new curated section where we will promote the best AI experiences built by the developer community, that's you, and Microsoft. It is a space where we will educate customers on how to start and expand their AI journey, inspiring them to use AI in everyday ways to boost productivity, spark creativity, and so much more. If you're an AI developer and you're interested in being featured in this collection, let us know by visiting the link on the screen. Yesterday morning, you had Shilpa talk about backup and restore and how critical this is to your user retention, especially as people move across devices. The first step for you as a developer to take advantage of this is to get your app in the Microsoft Store. This will ensure that all Windows users who have enabled Remember My Apps will be ready to bring your app with them when it comes time for a new PC. On their new device, when the user chooses Restore during device setup, it will start to bring down the user's personalization settings right away. And they will land on a desktop that feels familiar to them, including seeing your app on the taskbar and in the Start menu, ready to be used again. We've been working with Craft to test this out as they bring their app to the store. You can get to see how easy it will be for a Craft user to get right back to where they left off on their previous device. There are some things that you can do to provide the best possible experience to your users. The great news is that you do not need to make any changes to your app to take advantage of the app pins and the install experience. However, apps packaged with MSIX will require the fewest clicks to install. Another thing you can do is saving user-generated data to known folders backed up by OneDrive will mean that customers will be able to access immediately without needing to transfer it from their prior device. Finally, saving your app state to the cloud will enable your customers to pick right where they left off. You can learn more from the link shown on the screen. We really want you to test this out with your own apps and ensure that you're ready when we launch this experience to the customers. This will be rolling out in the dev channel for Windows Insiders starting today. And you can test your MSIX packaged apps with support for other apps coming soon. In this section, we covered expansion of store ads, the introduction of the new AI Hub, and we finished with App Restore. I'll now invite back Beth to cover the final section.
It's me again. I'm back. Software engineer Beth again. Same. Didn't change. I see your rejection. I reject your rejection. Anyways, let's talk about what's new for the Store developers. We hear from you that there's a lot of challenge in the certification process. Because of lack of self-serve tools, the results are very unpredictable, and then there's no clear guidance on the errors. So it resulted into a lot of resubmission of the apps. That's a waste of time, waste of money, right? So we're very happy to announce today that we're opening up the Microsoft Store certification tools so that you can run the certification tests before your submission process and view all the real-life, real-time results and get feedback. And let's take a look at right here on this demo. When you provide a Win32 package URL in the Partner Center now during the Store submission process, you will see a new option for package validation. And then if you select the run action in this validation process, then it's going to automate the Store certification tools on your package. So the tests are being initiated, and you can view the status by selecting the View Status action, and then take you to the package validation page. And here you can see real-time feedback on how to improve them. Great. You're a real developer, I can tell. You know the pain. Anyways, this can reduce your certification turnaround time by almost 50%, or up to 50%. And then we're also increasing your higher submission success rate to up to 80%. Hopefully this is going to help you with your certification process in the Store submission process. And they are the Win32 apps support for Store certification automation tools starts today and we will expand these into the MSIX packages next. And then let's talk about AI-generated search keywords, because if there's no AI in my section, it's not a successful section. So here are some quick steps. I really tried. All right, we have a very short amount of time. I'm going to go through this super fast. As you can see, we're on the store listing page, right? And then if you put in the description of your app, the AI-generated keywords is going to show up on the right side. It's going to look at the metadata of your web app or apps, native apps, and then generate all these terms that might be useful for your search tags. And you can add them, delete them, comparing them to the original text that you already have for your apps on the listing page, and then choose the combination of the two of the best worlds. And these are AI-backed generated search terms. That'll be super useful for you. So coming next, we will have some insightful testimonial from our customers of the store to tell you all about their experience of packaging and submitting for the store. Let's roll the video.
We were pleasantly surprised to find that the submission process was straightforward and required minimum changes from our side to our existing Electron build, and this has saved us a lot of time and effort.
Our apps have existed on Windows for several years now, and the store allowing us to submit unmodified Win32 apps has allowed us to easily put our pre-existing apps on the store with little to no modification.
We chose to build a progressive web app, or PWA, because it provides the best of both a web and an app installed experience into a single web page. We chose to bring it to the Microsoft App Store because the additional work to submit a PWA to the App Store was minimal thanks to PWA Builder, and is where users were already looking for us.
PWA is our key development strategy for cross-platforms. The support of PWA on Microstore makes the submission so seamless and significantly reduce our engineering effort.
I'm really glad that more format types are being accepted. For us, it makes a big difference. We'll submit the PWA progressive web app format to the store. It's something we've worked really hard on to make sure that user experience is great on the web. And knowing that that experience with notifications and all that PWA brings can be available on the Microsoft Store is fantastic for us.
All right, we have 2 minutes left. Let's invite back all the speakers back to the stage, and let's do a quick wrap up before we finish up the session. And if you have any questions after this, we'll be around this room just for our online audience's sake afterwards. So today we learned
widgets. Widgets keep getting better. We've been listening to your feedback, and we want to keep building on that momentum. Think about all the features that your users really care about. What would you like to put at their fingertips? And what would you like to make easily discoverable for other users? You saw how easy it is to build a widget? So check it out at aka.ms/widgetdevdocs.
If I want you to learn anything from today's session is the web otter called Manifest, Manny. And please check us out at pwbuilder.com and check out all the cool tooling from PWBuilder team.
We're seeing phenomenal growth with the Microsoft Store in terms of traffic. We now accept more app types, including PWA, which will make Beth and Manny very happy. And thank you again for congratulating those who are our award winners this week.
And with the expansion of store ads, you can reach more customers, as well as with the introduction of our new AI features, we hope you can reach even more customers. Thank you.
Last thing is all about certification tools, AI-generated keywords, and we also have, now you can submit your apps up to 2 categories, so the search filters can be applied accordingly. 30 seconds left, yes. Okay, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate your time. And our amazing studio crews. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Thanks, guys.